Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Aristius, and this one is going to be about the 8 inner gates. So, the entire function, I'm going to go over pretty much the different runes, what they do, if they do anything, and what you should do with your practice points. And just kind of give you a general overview. I actually didn't mean to click that button, but okay. I actually wanted to go here. Oh, well, down 54,000. That's great. Alright, so first off, it's a pretty simple tactic system if you've done it once, and you've probably done it once by now. If you hit auto practice, it's pretty simple. The only thing you really need to know is you can only um, synthesize lower ranked or same ranked things. So, for example, I cannot take this gold wood and throw it into a explosion. It will actually, well, what? Is that how it works? No. Yeah. So when you go the gold into the purple, it's actually going to eat the purple, not the other way around. Like normally you would drag them over here and it says explosive's going to eat the scorch, right? But if you bring it like this, it's actually going to be wood's going to eat the explosive. You can only really eat things that are the same rank or lower. So you get green, blue, purple, yellow, and then red. Pretty simple stuff, really. Um, So there are a number of different types of runes, pretty much for every type of stat. You've got combo, penetration, resistance, defense, life, ninjutsu, critical, stuff like that. You got injury, all pretty much every type of stat there is at least one rune for. Now the thing I want to specify the most is we've got significant evidence that penetration does absolutely nothing. It really didn't do anything in China at all. Like they made a whole there's a whole thread about in China about the tests and stuff people have run, and penetration really, if it does provide any bonus, it's so negligible that it doesn't actually, it doesn't matter. Like you prob it says ninjutsu penetration 414, you're like, yeah, that's pretty good, why don't I run that? Technically it's not going to really do anything. If it does anything, it's going to give you like 7 damage out of 414 ninjutsu penetration. It's kind of hard to figure it out because there's a lot of variance in damage. Your damage isn't consistent. Like if you throw out 10 mysteries with nothing on, the damage is probably going to waver like 1,000 in either direction. So you could have a 2,000 damage swing from your lowest to your highest. So it's kind of hard to figure out, but really ninjutsu penetration doesn't do enough to warrant a slot. The only reason I have a slot right here is actually because it's going to be replaced by a different type of rune that I'll talk about here in a second. And I actually should, I have a red fire somewhere. Why is my game going slow? Yeah, I have a red fire for whatever reason on my water main. My red fire should be on 1010, but I'll fix that later. That's the only red I have right now is red fire. It does feel like it's going really, really slow. Anyway, so the big ones you want to look for are critical, ninjutsu, taijutsu, so attack. I don't know why it says attack instead of ninjutsu, but attack, critical, ninjutsu, life is always a big one. I'm The resistance and earth are a little less, but they're really not bad either, especially when you put them on your tank or your guy in front or your main damage dealer, because sometimes you get those fights where it's really close, and in the course of a comp, like if you're taking a 7,000 damage mystery hit, the extra 171 resistance isn't going to make that big of a difference. But if you're taking like a 14 hit combo, like over the course of 14 hits, it ends up being a considerable amount of resistance that you're, or life effectively that you're getting. Because when you're doing these defense and resistance, you're actually getting effective health. So your health is actually higher than it is because of your damage reduction. So there's also a damage reduction one, and I'm not sure if that one even works. It doesn't seem like it works great, but I guess it's worth using a lot of the time. The ones I really like are the combo because you can get more consistent like standard attack combos, which is always great. I do like resistance, I do like life, I do like ninjutsu, critical, defense. I'm replacing this one with a fire here in a second. Actually, let me just do that now because it's makes no sense for this to even be there in Earth. I like having my fires at the bottom. I like having everything in the same order, like I'll have fire, explosive, lightning, water, wind, etc., so that I know exactly where everything is and I can switch things around pretty easily. So yeah, it should since 1010 is more ninjutsu, but she does have taijutsu too. So I like having these three definitely. Um, Water is definitely you probably want water on your ninja regardless of what type of ninja it is, and then you have a choice between resistance, defense, stuff like that. But the ones you want to do from here is you always want to get the initiative runes. Essentially, until you have 4 initiative runes from here, one for each character, you never ever buy anything else. Like I could buy a bunch of earth and explosives or whatever right now, but you don't want to do it because the only way you can get initiative is from the buy shop from here, the chakra exchange. And the initiative one is very important because not only we have stage changers, but we have priority on ninjas and stuff like that. If you have like a level 8 initiative, it's like 200 initiative right now, which is basically the equivalent of like a level 6 and a level 7 refined combined, which is a lot of money that you essentially save by having initiative. Or in some cases, you add on to your initiative and just make it better. You do need 4 of them because of the stage change stuff. It goes off team initiative, but you don't necessarily, if you're not using a stage changer and you're not planning on using a stage changer anytime soon, you don't necessarily need to have 4, but you really do want to have 1 at the very least on your main mystery guy for turn 2. Um, Other than that, really it's up to you what you want to do. Just keep in mind that injury, taijutsu penetration, ninjutsu penetration are, they don't really work. So I would stay away from those for the time being. Even things like wood, like life recovery, it's not great. Like you're at the max, you're only getting, 9 rounds where you would effectively get life recovery at the end of the round. It can be good if it's really high, I guess, and you're having like a very heavy attrition based team, but like it would take a lot to get something like wood to work very well. Um, so again, just critical attack, life, resistance, defense, combo, initiative, and possibly damage reduction. It really depends. Like I've got some decent damage reduction ones, and you can definitely see it drop a little bit, but it's not going to be the same amount that it says. So it says damage reduction 418. You're not taking 418 less damage per hit. That's never going to happen. If it worked that way, it'd be great. It just doesn't work that way, unfortunately. So, yeah, for the most part, you just want to do that. And if you have empty slots and you don't have your ideal stuff yet, like I have this Gate of Shock one open, you do want to throw whatever you can in there because it does give you. So I can throw the ninjutsu penetration in there, but it doesn't do anything. I already have a gold explosive. I'll probably throw the wood in there just because it does give you personal power and your total team power and stuff like that. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the 8 gates function. It does cost about 70 million. That's the number I've heard. I think I've spent more than 70 million at this point, but somewhere around 70 million coins to be able to get 20,000 for an initiative rune. But you do get a lot of power out of it. Like there's nothing really bad about doing this, and eventually you will get to the point where you're all gold or all red or whatever the case may be. I wouldn't worry if you don't get it too many reds. Like I said, I only got 1 red, and I'm doing fine with it. I'm happy with all my gold and stuff, and right now I'm trying to spread out stuff as best as I can, but for the most part, my main's all golds. That's pretty much it. You guys have a good day. Thanks.